Hey everyone! In this video you will hear the simple past and the past progressive. So whenever you see this, that means that we have used that form. Enjoy!
So I wanted to ask you, because I don't think I've ever heard the story
Which
of
one?
how you met your partner. Tell me the story of how that situation came down.
Oh, yeah. It's a good story. I like to talk about these stories. I like knowing
Okay.
people's stories too.
So what happened?
Okay, so we were, I went with my friends to a restaurant, and I was living in a city outside of LA, like 30 minutes outside of LA.
Okay.
And so my friend said, hey, let's go to this restaurant in Hollywood. And I was like,
Which is,
God.
and Hollywood is in LA.
Hollywood's, yeah, in LA, but like 30 minutes from where I lived. And
So it was a big trip.
big trip. I didn't really want to go because it's always hard to park in LA, in Hollywood.
yeah.
I hate parking. And you always have to wait when you get to a little restaurant and all that. So I almost didn't go. But I went, and it was a Spanish restaurant. And the reason why my friends wanted to go there was because I think maybe it was my birthday. No, I don't know what it was. Something for me. And they wanted to take me to a Spanish restaurant because I had just gotten back from living in Spain. So we go to this.
You were living in Spain.
Right.
And now you are living in LA.
Yeah.
But you were living in LA because this story is in the past.
Right.
Okay.
So I was living in Spain, and then I moved back, and I was living in this town outside of LA.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So then, yeah. So I had been living in Spain before I went to this restaurant.
Okay, got it. Spanish restaurant
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah.
You don't live in LA. Okay, got it.
So we sit down. We're all talking. Everybody's there. We were all talking. Hey, how are you? And then the server walked up, and his name tag said his name, and it's very similar to my name. So I said, "Oh, hey!" And then he started to talk, and I realized when he started to talk that he was actually from Spain. And so then I asked him, well, what part of Spain are you from? And it turns out that he's from the same area where I was living when I was living in Spain. And so we started talking about that a little bit, and then I ordered some wine, and then I had a little bit too much wine, so I was talking to him too much.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think maybe he thought, she likes me or something. So then when I went to the bathroom, I was walking to the bathroom, and he stopped me and asked
The server.
for my email, I think. Yeah. He asked for my email. Yeah.
That's weird. Is that like an LA thing? Is that
I
like
don't
a
know.
hip,
It must be.
cool LA thing?
Maybe. I don't know. It was my first experience. Someone in Hollywood trying to talk to me.
Yes.
So, yeah, after that, my friends and I, we were just eating. We finished our food, and we went outside, and we were standing outside for a while, just talking, and we were just standing around. And then I remember I started to think, whoa, I wonder if this guy is going to be serious and write me. And then I got home that night, and I opened up my email, and he had already written me. So
He wrote you an email.
that was a good thing.
What
yeah.
a refreshingly odd
Yeah.
way to meet somebody. Okay, that's cool.
What about you?
For me,
I just hope you weren't wearing that Grinch sweater. Or maybe it was a good thing.
It maybe would have happened a lot sooner if I was wearing such a cool sweater.
Maybe, yeah, actually, it's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
So when I met my partner, it was a long time ago. I was in high school, and it didn't happen all at once, right? It was something that happened little by little every day, because when you're in high school, you see each other every day.
Right.
So I can describe it from my perspective, but I know, my partner, she has her own version of the story too, because she saw me before I saw her. Because in high school I was like crazy,
Loud.
always making jokes loud and all that. So
she was annoyed by you?
So she hated me.
Tried to stay away.
Yeah. So, but what had happened was, so I'll describe like one day, one situation.
Yeah. What happened? What were you doing?
So
that day?
I was taking a class that was at like the top side of our high school. So it was very far. And my next class was very close to it. So if I needed to walk from one class to the next class, I just need to go boop, and that's it. But I knew that at that time she was walking somewhere else. So in between the class, I would go from my class all the way down, and I saw her walking by, and she was walking with her friends. She was talking with all of her friends, with all of these people, because she's very popular. And but hey, I was popular too, so I just wave or like, hey, you know, that kind of stupid high school stuff. And then I go all the way back up to where my class was. So I was pretending that I had
a class down there,
some reason to be down there,
okay.
even though she was the reason, but she never knew. Yeah. So it was like almost every day is kind of like that sort of thing. But at that time, she was playing softball. She was on the softball team.
Okay.
So like every weekend, she played softball. So my friend was very concerned at the time. About my not like, I was always talking about how I wanted to like date her, but my friend was concerned that I wasn't trying hard enough. So he said, there's a softball game, let's go. So me and him got in the car and we went to the softball game. So we were watching the softball game, and she was playing softball. We were sitting there, we were cheering for her and all of this stuff. It was funny. Then the turning point. So this is probably the moment where we like met each other, because everything after that changed. Was after the softball game. I was talking to my friend, and then so we were standing by the gym or whatever, the place where people do sports. And then she was walking up with her friend. And so our two groups met each other. And so we were there, we were talking, we were like making jokes and all of this kind of stuff. But eventually, my friend had to leave. So he said, we have to go. And he, like, I can't remember, like I drove him or something. So we both needed to leave. And when we left, she touched my elbow. To say goodbye. So she said goodbye and touched my elbow, and I
like this or like
this?
like
that, like just a little two finger. And, and then everything, and everything after that changed.
Oh my
and
God.
that was it.